Hey guys, Canoopsy here, and this is the LG G4, LG's latest flagship smartphone and one of the best smartphones on the market right now. Up against extremely fierce competition from the Samsung Galaxy S6, HTC One M9, and iPhone 6, LG definitely had to do something awesome in order to make their flagship smartphone stand out from the rest, and they definitely nailed it. Taking a look at the design, this is one very unique phone. My model is the metallic gray model, and it also comes in leather and a ceramic backing, which both look and probably feel great. The phone is made entirely of plastic, and while it both looks great and feels great in the hand, I would have preferred if the band around the phone was made of aluminum, as it would just add that extra premium touch to the device. The phone looks like a combination between the LG G3 and the LG G Flex 2, and that's awesome because it makes for a very unique look. The phone is also slightly curved as you can see here, and that just adds for more durability against drops, and it overall looks awesome. Another very unique design decision for this phone is that the buttons are not on the sides, but rather on the back, and this is something extremely unique that only LG has been putting on their smartphones. It does take a while to get used to this new placement, but you'll definitely get the hang of it. On the top and bottom you have the volume buttons, and in the center we have the power button. In some situations you can't turn on the phone from the back, but LG thought of that as well. You can double tap the display to turn it on, and double tap it again to turn it off. It's definitely a super useful and convenient feature. If you want to take a quick picture, you can double tap the volume down button and it will open up the camera app and take a shot. If you want to take a quick note down, you can double tap the volume up button and it will open up the quick memo app. If you just want to check the time when the phone is off, you can swipe down from the top of the screen and it will display the clock. And these are all very useful and convenient features to make your time with the phone a lot easier. Not only is the button placement on this phone very unique, but it also has something very awesome that most phones don't have these days. Yes, a removable back. The back of this version definitely looks really nice, especially when you put it on different lighting. You can see a nice diamond pattern on the back, and it really adds to more grippability of the phone and an overall excellent look. When you take off the back cover of the device, it gives you access to a 3000 mAh battery that is removable, as well as a microSD card slot for SD cards up to 2 TB of space. That's pretty awesome. It's also awesome to see that LG actually kept these features around in its smartphone, as they're very hard to find these days in other devices. Now speaking of that 3000 mAh battery, it does provide really great battery life and you can for sure get through an entire day no problem. Whether it be for heavy or moderate usage, this battery can definitely carry you throughout the day, and because it's removable, you can always just swap in a new one. This phone also supports Quick Charge 2.0, which is very awesome, but it doesn't come with an adapter in the box, and it also doesn't support wireless charging sadly. Overall, the design of this device is unique, functional, and just plain awesome. LG definitely did an excellent job with the design of this device. Now moving on to specs, this phone has a Snapdragon 808 processor, 3GB of RAM, and the Adreno 418 GPU. These are all pretty high-end specs, and the phone performs like an absolute boss. Opening and closing apps is an absolute breeze, and there's little to no delay at all. This is one of the most fluid Android experiences I've ever had. This phone brings a whole new definition to the term of a buttery experience. It's all due to the processor, 3GB of RAM, and the software optimization. For things like highly graphical games, this phone also performs extremely well. In games like Asphalt 8, I've experienced no lag or delay whatsoever. It's definitely one of the fastest phones I've ever used. Looking at software, this phone runs Android 5.1 Lollipop with LG Skin on top of it. While LG Skin's a bit of an acquired taste, I think it doesn't look so bad at all. This version of LG software is a bit more toned down than previous versions, but there's still a bit of bloatware and some weird icons here and there. Thankfully, you can disable most of these applications, and you can even change some of the icons. There's also some additions like Smart Settings, which allows you to add some custom actions to your device, like when you plug in headphones it can open up music. There's also Smart Notice that gives you a whole list of information, but it's kind of an ugly widget so I disabled it. And there's also Smart Bolton, which gives you a whole list of even more information and quick settings, and it's kind of similar to Blink Feed except there's more functionality. My two most favorite software additions on this device are QSLED apps, which are basically just floating applications that are very quick and convenient to access, and there's also split screen multitasking, which is always welcome on devices of this size. Simple software additions like these should be available on all big screen devices, as it makes it into even more of a productivity machine and takes advantage of the large amount of screen real estate that you have. And speaking of that screen, that screen. The LG G4 is a 2K 5.5-inch IPS quantum display that both looks great indoors and outdoors and has amazing colors and contrast. The display also gets really bright and really dim, and this will allow you to look at your phone in the middle of the night without completely blinding yourself, a very useful feature. Lastly, let's talk about cameras on the LG G4. The rear-facing camera is a 16-megapixel f1.8 shooter with a color spectrum sensor and a laser autofocus, while the front-facing camera is an 8-megapixel selfie camera. These cameras perform both good indoors and outdoors, and the UI is very simple and easy to use as well. But if you want to take it up a notch, there's also a manual mode for more professional photographers. These are just a few samples of what the LG G4 camera can do, and I will make a more in-depth video on this in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And this has been my review of the LG G4. It's one of the best flagship smartphones on the market right now, and has an amazing screen, unique design, and awesome camera. It's also one of the only flagship smartphones on the market right now that has a removable battery and microSD card slot, which makes the phone very functional and versatile. If you're interested in buying an LG G4 for yourself, I will have a link in the description down below so you can get some more information. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts on the LG G4, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.